And now, without further ado, please welcome to the stage our next storyteller for tonight, Eliza. Big round of applause.
Childbirth is the gold standard when it comes to pain. When someone wants to describe some awful, unbearable pain, they compare it to childbirth, or they say that's even worse than childbirth. It's terrifying. I was so happy that I was going to be a mom, just dreading the birth. I'm not going to get through the pain. I'll die. Unless I can find a way to make the pain magically disappear. I was on a mission. I treated childbirth like a law school final. I researched. I watched every video, every documentary, read every book, article, blog, message board, survivor stories. I asked my doctor for his opinion. To a reasonable degree of medical certainty, can breathing techniques help to minimize pain? He said, if you want to believe that, sure, but everyone always ends up getting an epidural. That's an option. Numb myself from the waist down. That's a genius idea. Except for the whole needle in the spine part. The last time that happened was for that spinal tap. I remember. That headache lasted a week. If I learned anything then, it was don't mess with your spine. Not to mention those horror stories I read about the women who can't feel anything. They can't feel a contraction. They can't push. Contractions are like ocean waves, or so I read. They roll in and they roll out, and it's paramount to push that wave as it goes out with force and at the right time. And why is it that all of the shiny, happy, successful stories always seem to involve these one with nature, barefoot, crunchy granola moms? The ones who give birth standing up on top of a mirror or in a tub in the middle of the living room. I don't have anything in common with those savages. I'm terrified. The one trait, I guess, that we share is that as women, we're like designed to do this one thing. I continued my research during the 9 months, and I started to feel like maybe I would come out of this thing alive. I felt relaxed. I figured I wasn't ill, so maybe I didn't need to see a doctor. I wanted a midwife. Before I knew it, I was about to face the worst pain imaginable. I knew I was in labor all day long, even in the morning when the contractions were just mild. Later in the evening, they got worse, so I called the midwife, and she told me to take a hot bath. That would help with the pain. And I said, well, what if my water breaks and I don't know it because I'm in a bath? She said, good point. So after the bath, the contractions got worse again. The ocean waves were rolling in bigger and faster, and I couldn't get through one without bending at the waist. I thought maybe it was time to get to the hospital. And the midwife said, if you can make this phone call, you're not in labor. 10 centimeters dilated means the baby's about to come out. I was 6 centimeters when I got to the hospital and quickly progressed to 9.5. My water still hadn't broken. That's like a balloon that's supposed to burst. And my midwife said, I know you don't want any artificial intervention, but you've been pushing for a couple hours, and I could take my finger and break your water for you, and the baby would come much faster. I told her I'd think about it. A couple hours later, I said, all right, just pop it. I pushed, and my daughter was born. I remember the contractions before the birth. I remember the stitches after. But I was so afraid of the baby coming out, of that pain. And for the life of me, I can't remember. It's like it disappeared.